Planning for Cultural and Linguistic Variability with Universal Design for Learning. Final project, JFischer. One of the most important revelations emerging from brain research is that the notion of broad categories of learners, smart, not smart, disabled, not disabled, regular, not regular, is a gross oversimplification that does not reflect reality. By categorizing people this way, we place an undue burden on individuals to adapt themselves in all their wonderful diversity to inflexible learning environments. We should instead be expecting more of our learning environments. Chief among these expectations is that our learning environments be designed with a deep understanding and appreciation for individual variability. That is a fundamental premise of universal design for learning and the educational systems made with UDL principles in mind. This statement, particularly the phrase, "Learning environments be designed with a deep understanding and appreciation for individual variability," answers question number 1 in session 14 of this course. What is unique about UDL lesson design? This image demonstrates the why for using UDL. Classrooms are filled with students who have different needs, come from different educational backgrounds, have different attention spans and interests, have different language abilities, and have different cultural backgrounds. And it is important to note that UDL is not only for students with identified disabilities or cultural or linguistic variability. UDL is good for all students. Planning involves minimizing barriers and maximizing accessibility, with a corresponding emphasis on providing challenge for all learners, often through flexibility and the use of options. Educators whose practice is guided by UDL principles incorporate these ideas at all stages of the lesson, from pre-assessment through all stages of instruction, including assessment. Choice and flexibility are key elements of this approach, as providing options for students supports engagement and also helps teachers to differentiate activities to ensure content is presented in ways appropriate for various groups of learners. This diagram of UDL and its 3 principles from CAST demonstrate engagement, or the why of learning, representation, or the what of learning, and action and expression, or the how of learning. Together, these 3 categories help educators, course designers, and course developers ensure that maximum accessibility is provided to students through multiple modes of access. UDL does not dictate what to teach or even how to teach it. Decisions that are rooted in curriculum guidelines and in awareness of individual students' strengths, backgrounds, and needs. Rather, UDL provides a roadmap for educators to think through the process of identifying barriers to learning and working to remove them. This process is relevant for all learners, whatever their subject, grade level, or language and cultural background. In fact, UDL must be implemented within the context of a student's unique culture, not outside it or as an attempt to supersede it. The use of options, choice, and flexibility, key to a UDL framework, is one potential way to address the needs of all students in a culturally responsive manner that increases engagement and learner empowerment. This statement, particularly the phrase, "The use of options, choice, and flexibility, key to a UDL framework," is one potential way to address the needs of all students in a culturally responsive manner that increases engagement and learner empowerment. Answers question number 2 in session 14 of this course. How can lesson design for ELs inform the design of lessons for a wide range of learners? Dr. Thomas Tobin, Faculty Associate and Distance Teaching and Learning Conference Programming Chair for Learning Design, Development, and Innovation at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, uses the phrase +1 thinking. +1 thinking is simply the concept of adding one more method for students to access, engage with, and demonstrate understanding of content. Offer a video in addition to a text page. Offer a transcript and/or closed captions to audio and video. In addition to asking learners to provide written responses to assessment questions, offer them a game or a simulation. In addition to presenting required content in a video, allow learners to read an article or review electronic flashcards on a mobile device. By the way, did you notice that this presentation has a not quite black background with light gray text instead of white text? This is a purposeful design technique to reduce strain on readers' eyes by providing a good contrast to make reading easier, but not so much contrast that it hurts the eyes. I also read the text for those who prefer to hear the content instead of reading it. If this were part of an actual course, additional supports that could be added include a transcript, closed captions, audio descriptions of images, and reading the URL citations.